Hello everyone. Thank you for coming back for another installment of Code and Chat with Zach. I have been getting quite a few requests about creating a cool or sick background in our .bat file when it opens, but also to make it functional. I've been told there are other videos that help you make cool backgrounds, but afterwards they do nothing. So today we're going to take a few minutes and create a cool background that is functional. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is get our command line and type in Notepad and name our file. And this file I will name anon.cmd.bat. Make sure that you include the .bat. I will be using an anonymous picture as our cool background, and following that I will have it work as a command line. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Of course, we do want it to create it, and let's start some coding. The first line, of course, if you remember, is at echo off. Now the next line is the color. You can do a variety of colors, and if you're interested in command line, you just type color and you'll see the combinations. However, the matrix style is the one that is requested the most, so that is 0A. And finally, let's go ahead and create a title that will be on the title box, and we'll call this Anonymous CMD. Now, in the next few lines will be where our image goes, but before we go and convert our image, and I'll show you a really neat trick for that, let's go ahead and put in our encoding. Now, following the display of our text background, we do want to go ahead and say pause and make that null, or you can leave it. Leaving that empty like this will simply have a line that says press any key to continue or something similar. Going null removes that. And finally, we want to start our cmd.exe. So now we can go and get our background. So let's go ahead and minimize this for a moment. And let's open our browser. Notice I used the bat file that we created the other day. And I would like to go to text, I believe image.com. Excellent. And we want to go to the convert, and we want ASCII. So now we will find our image. So we'll go ahead and browse. I'm choosing this anonymous picture. We'll go ahead and leave it at 100 wide. Yeah, 100 will be fine. We'll leave that and we'll convert it. Take a moment and notice that we have this cool text representation of our picture. So let's go ahead and grab all of this, Control C, and go back to our text file and put that in here. We'll paste that. Now, cool background. Notice we have our icon, our anonymous icon with the question mark right there in the globe. But we have to take one more step, and we have to type echo and space. Now, the time-consuming part is that this is required for every single line. We can get rid of this line if we want, just to get rid of one spacing, but ultimately it will take a moment to do, but it's not terribly time-consuming. But the payoff will be a unique and cool background. So I'm going to pause the video for 1 second, finish that up, and pick it up. Okay, now we have put the echo space in front of all of the lines, and now we can save it and close. And notice we have our .bat icon here, the large gear and the small gear, and we click it. Now, It does open the file, and if you can kind of see that it's there, we do need to make a couple of changes to this window. So go ahead and right click here, and you have two choices, defaults and properties. Go ahead and use the properties aspect, so that way it will change it for this one, but you do have the ability to have a normal on the other. It changes only this anonymous CMD. And notice there is our title right there. So go ahead and go over here to layout, and we want the window size to be somewhere probably, for this one, maybe about 120 wide, and let's go about 45 tall. You can play around with these to see. Now close this, open it one more time, and we're getting closer. We do have a little bit at the top and nothing at the bottom, so we do need to, I don't know, looks like maybe 6 or 8 more. Oops. So let's go ahead and go back to properties. So for height, let's go to about 52 and say OK, and run it one more time. There we go, voila. Now notice we don't need to be quite as wide, and this is just a matter of choice and what you like. Feel free to play around with it so that you get the result that you're excited about. There we go. So now we have this great matrix style background for Anonymous. And notice our icon down here. So when I click enter, we now have our CMD screen. And we are ready. Well, I hope you found this interesting. Create your own, and be sure to leave comments with screenshots or copies of your bat file and show others what great things you have accomplished. Thank you, and keep coding.